Welcome to 5 Minutes with the Newsroom. I'm here with Green Valley News and Sahuarita Sun editor Dan Shearer, and Dan's just going to give us a little rundown of the August 2nd primary.
There's a lot of races, Kevin, but we're just going to hit a few key ones that will particularly affect our area. We'll start with the Sahuarita Town Council. We have actually two races. One is a race for a 2-year term. There's only one candidate, Diane Priolo, so she's in. And then we have 4 candidates going for 3 seats. Those are 4-year terms. 3 of them are incumbents. They are Deborah Morales, Kara Egbert, and Mayor Tom Murphy. The challenger is Laura Nastasi, who has been in the race before. So we'll see how that shakes out. We might know the council makeup after the primary, but there's a very complex system for counting votes to determine whether they got a majority, etc. And it's we have it described online if you want to know. Sometimes you know in the primary, sometimes you have to throw it over into a runoff in the general in November. So we'll have to wait and see on that in the town of Sahuarita. Also remember that voters do not elect a mayor. After the council is elected, they get together and among themselves will select a mayor and a vice mayor. That's Sahuarita Town Council. Now we have some statewide races.
Okay, and talk about some of the candidates here, and I realize that Masters has Trump's endorsement.
Absolutely, he does, and so those are the Republicans. Blake Masters who is involved in a little incident here in Green Valley, which we covered, which is still playing out. He does have the endorsement of Donald Trump, and he has been doing very well in the polls, but he's not a shoo-in yet. Jim Lamon also has done well. Mark Brnovich, the current Attorney General for Arizona, has actually faded, if you believe the polls. So this one is not over. Mark Kelly will be the Democratic candidate in the general election. He is unopposed in the primary. The key thing, though, Kevin, on these votes is that so many people are undecided. This poll is from the beginning of July, and in this particular race, about a third of the people said, yeah, I still don't know. So now we're about 2-3 weeks into the early ballots being out there, and we have another week to go or so before the primary at the time of this taping. So we'll see how if people can make up their minds on what direction they go. But there's a lot of activity here these last few days.
Yeah, lots to play out.
Yeah, absolutely. This one is really too early to call. So that's the Senate race, and then we have the Congressional District 6 race. Now remember, the lines were redrawn, the boundaries, and so now part of Sahuarita is actually in Congressional District 6, and part of it is in 7. All of Green Valley is in Congressional District 6, so let's start there. The Democrats have Kirsten Engel, Daniel Hernandez, who has served us in the state legislature, and then a young man named Avery Anderson. And so the Republicans have 5 candidates. Juan Ciscomani is the one with all the money. He's expected to go on through. He is an aide to Governor Ducey and has been for quite a long time. He's very well known in these parts. It's an open seat because Ann Kirkpatrick is retiring, and so everyone's jumping in. The others in the race are Brandon Martin, Young Mayberry, Kathleen Wynn, and Lucretia Free, who we've had in the office and have talked to her. So if you want to read more about her, you can go to gbnews.com.
All right, and now what's going on in CD7?
Well, that's interesting. This is the district, again, redrawn, but it's pretty much Raul Grijalva's district. It leans to the Democrat, favors the Democrats. He's probably going to have no problem retaining that seat, but the Republicans aren't just rolling over for it. So Raul Grijalva is not challenged in the primary, but the Republicans are Luis Pozzolo. He likely will get the nomination and face Grijalva. We'll see how it goes, but again, is he a sacrificial lamb or does he really have a chance? It's a new district. We'll see, but this one definitely was redrawn to favor the Democrats.
Okay, and then finally on the governor primary, we had Carrie Lake in the office recently, and she's actually Trump-backed as well. So, what can we look for in this race?
Well, with Carrie Lake, you never quite know what you're going to get. She makes news a lot. We'll just say that. We had her in here, and our The way we approach this, as you know, is that we just said, you know what, we're not going to talk about all of the drama surrounding this race, and there's a lot of it. The candidates just came off a very contentious televised debate a couple weeks ago, and really were going at each other's throats. And in a lot of those things, they're entertaining, but you really don't learn how they feel about the issues. What would they do if they actually become governor? And so we stuck to the issues. You can read that online also. So you have Kari Lake, and then you have Karen Taylor Robeson, and they're really neck and neck going to the last few days. I don't know about you, but my mailbox is just stuffed with stuff every single day from Karen Taylor Robeson, and we'll see how this plays out. As you said, Lake has the Trump endorsement, but again, so many people here have not decided on this race. I heard one commentator say that a vote for Kari Lake is a vote for Donald Trump. That's the type of leadership you'll get. A vote for Taylor Robeson is going to be 4 more years of Governor Ducey. I don't think that's quite accurate. It's a very general way to look at things. I think they both have distinct leadership styles, and how they'll approach the issues are very different people. And this one really could go either way right now. It's a very, very interesting race, and people are watching it all across the country.
Okay, and you can vote differently this time around. We have poll centers everywhere. You can go into any one that's convenient for you, correct?
Yes, any poll center in Pima County, you can go vote there. You don't have to vote on the one that's going to be on your ballot, because there's nothing on your ballot now. They used to tell you exactly where to vote. No more. You see a poll center, you want to go vote that day. If you're not an early ballot person, then go ahead and vote anywhere. So if you're on your way up to work, or you find yourself somewhere else in the county, go ahead and vote that day anywhere. There are emergency voting centers. That's like someone who has an early ballot and it's like, wow, it's too late to mail it in. You can go take it in. Or on Election Day, August 2nd, you can take your ballot in to any polling center and leave it there.
All right. Well, thank you, Dan, for providing some background information on some of these candidates and the election process in general.
Yeah, it's going to be a great election season for the primary, and the general is going to be even more interesting.
Great. So, thank you for being here with us on 5 Minutes with the Newsroom, and we will see you next time.